The unsettling gurgling sound is all Stephanie's father could hear as the bear began ravaging the body of his beloved daughter. In an unusual stir of events, the nightmare happened. "Stephanie! Stephanie!" he yelled through the phone, but to no avail. He could hear the bear crunching at bones and flesh. Still quietness surrounding the tragic sight. Gurgling. The gurgling is all that could be heard. The suffocating weight of the giant creature, not even sparing her a single scream of despair. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, it almost pains me to bring this story to you guys, as this woman went through something horrific not too long ago at all. But again, I think it's important to share these stories because it startles me how unprepared so many people are when they go out into bear country, and how unknowing they are of their surroundings. And this situation seems to be an example of such. But I appreciate you guys for coming by, as this is one of the most horrific bear attack stories that I've seen in quite some time. But before I get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel, as it has been growing. So if you will, like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So let's get into this blood-curdling story. At only 44 years of age, Stephanie Blay had her whole life ahead of her. She was young, beautiful, a mother of two who loved to stay fit and active. Our Stephanie had a zeal for life next to no one else. She was the most loving and passionate mother who always spoke of how blessed she was to be able to be home and raise her children. A family member said on her GoFundMe page, these were her most precious days. She was free-spirited and loved the earth. She shared this with anyone who crossed her path. Her joy, passion, love, compassion, wisdom, and selflessness was felt by anyone who had the joy of meeting Stephanie. She also meant the world to her hard-working and loving husband. But the world wasn't enough on that dreary August evening. The bear began feasting on her body. Her thin frame made it easy for the creature to take her down without much hassle. She tried to push it away by the snout as her body lay there in ruin, but the monster showed no mercy as it wrapped its jaws around her feeble wrist and began digging into her body with its sharp but long yellow worn claws. A pool of dark red blood began forming on the ground beneath her, screaming for help, screaming for redemption, but none was given. Northern Saskatchewan is a beautiful and rugged landscape that is home to a diverse range of wildlife, including black bears, moose, elk, caribou, wolves, coyotes, lynx, and many other species. The region is also home to many migratory birds, making it a popular destination for bird watchers. Black bears are a common sight in northern Saskatchewan, and visitors should take caution when exploring the wilderness. Moose and elk can be seen in the area, particularly near wetlands and lakes. Caribou are found in the northern parts of Saskatchewan, and visitors can sometimes witness their incredible migration. Wolves and coyotes are the top predators in the region and play a vital role in the ecosystem. They help to control the population of herbivores like elk and moose, ensuring that the ecosystem remains in balance. Lynx is another predator that visitors might come across in the forests of northern Saskatchewan. The forests of northern Saskatchewan are a significant part of the region's landscape. The Boreal Forests, which covers most of the area, is the largest terrestrial ecosystem on Earth, stretching across Canada, Russia, and Scandinavia. The Boreal Forest of northern Saskatchewan is home to a variety of tree species, including black spruce, white spruce, jack pine, and trembling aspen. These forests provide habitat for a wide range of wildlife. And in addition to the boreal forests, northern Saskatchewan also has extensive wetlands, which are important breeding grounds for waterfowl and other aquatic species. These wetlands also play a vital role in water purification and flood control. It was a beautiful, rustic cabin where this horrific nightmare took place. Stephanie was trying to get better reception on her cell phone while speaking with her father, so her and one of her young ones went outside during the call. Eli, her son, was beside her, and she ordered him to go to the house and get the antenna for the satellite phone so it could get a better connection or a better signal. Fortunately, the child left the scene before the blood was spilled. It was in these horrific moments that the bear pursued the young woman, her phone buzzing off like crazy as the hulking, menacing bear ripped her to pieces. Her husband, Curtis, came rushing to the scene as he peered through the window of their peaceful cabin to see the deathly contrast of what was going on only 30 feet out the front door. Curtis ran at the horrid animal, yelling and screaming, "Get off her! Get off her, bear!" The bear stood over the woman's lifeless carcass, not giving it up to the demanding human. It lowered its head and hissed at the man, bluff charging him, only to continue covering Stephanie's helpless, defeated body, aiming to continue its feast, even while being harassed by the ever-so-pursuing husband. He got about 6 feet from the creature and unleashed a full can of bear spray on it. But to his disappointment, to his shock, the animal was fearless and unfazed by the red, irritating mist. It huffed and bellowed at Curtis, charging at him again, only for a quick, bluff swipe of its paw, and then return to the body to feast. Curtis, in dismay, ran back to the cabin and grabbed their 20-gauge pump-action shotgun and returned to the steamy, bloodied mess that has now and forever changed him and his children's lives. He shot the bear. A spread of lead and wad of plastic covered the animal. It lunged away at the shot, only to face Curtis again, this time hesitantly, its wounds already festering. As Curtis chambered another round, the bear began dragging the body away, out toward the thicket. Curtis shot again, and this time the creature collapsed. Finally, a resolve. Finally, closure. Let this story be a dire warning to anyone who seeks refuge in bear country. Jeez. What do you guys think about that? You know, what a thing Curtis and their children had to witness on that August day. It seems like Stephanie was dead nearly from the beginning. I was reading up on the call that she had with her dad, and apparently her dad didn't even really know what happened. All of a sudden, the phone just fell on the ground, and he said he wasn't sure what happened, but he could hear a constant gurgling sound, and he didn't know what it was. So eventually he hung up and called back, but of course she wouldn't answer. And he called back again and again and again. And it wasn't until Curtis shot the bear to death, about 7 to 10 minutes later, that he called back the father from his wife's phone and gave him the bad news. Over the phone, he told the father how she didn't have a pulse, and that's kind of where the story ended. It's just crazy how they were having such a nice time. She went outside to use her phone because they were having a problem with the water pump, and she knew that her dad could help her fix it, but she had to go outside to get better reception on her phone. So it was just this little family vacation, this getaway that they planned to have happy times with each other, and it ended in such a nightmare. It's just another reminder to me that you can never be too careful and to always carry protection no matter where you go, as far as I see it, as long as you're abiding by the laws. But especially out in bear country, just seems like people underestimate these things. I don't know too much about this Stephanie, but her friends did say that she loved nature and loved the earth. I mean, sometimes I think people love it a little too much, where perhaps it's clouded from their eyes that it could unleash devastation on them when least expected. But I mean, let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comments below, and how fortunate it was that the kid went inside moments before the attack. He was going in there to get an antenna for the cell phone so she could hear her dad better on it. I mean, it could have taken them both out for that matter, but it's hard to say what would have happened if the young child stuck around. But damn, when I go up north in northern Michigan, I hope to go there this summer, and I go out and venture on the trails and all that with my lady. You guys better bet your tails that Iceman's gonna be packing a nice hand cannon at the least. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming by, and if you will, like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, and stay tuned for more chilling tales from the Iceman.